As part of technologies for music video, I used Final Cut software to piece everything together. I began by recording everything and creating events and projects. So these would be events, and the projects are the whole thing all together. And within the program of which to upload my clips for my music video, I then downloaded an MP3 file of the song. So down here, to piece everything together and to basically make this sound AVI file to make it for my music video. After editing everything, so making all these clips smaller, fitting them into place, making sure they go along with the lyrics nicely so that it all fits within the lyrics, I began to add effects. So the first effect I used began with a transition, a circular transition at the beginning. So if we move it over here, it starts off with a circular transition and then it moves into an effect that's in the middle, and it's a glow in the middle of the thing. It adds to the element of depth and is used a few times within my music video in a few scenes. So it's used there, it's used, oh, I forgot to find it now. It's used over here again, sort of when the girls are in that same place all together. So it just all links in together really nicely. I also used a bad TV effect a few times. So if I move it down, sorry, there to add to the more broken 60s feel to make everything feel a bit more old-fashioned, and I use that way further down in the song, so about here, all in these different slides here. And I also used a bubbly effect. I'm talking about effects firstly because it's the easiest thing, you just pick up an effect from the side over here in the transitions or the effects slide, and you just sort of drop it in, and it just makes the feel a bit better. So if I find the bubble effect to show you, I think over here, yep, see the bubbles over here, that adds some more 60s feel again. Every effect, really every effect I used boiled down to the fact that it was all part of the mise en scène. It all goes down to the feel of it being 60, used quite heavily here, or when the boy is using his mouth, or even to all the black and white scenes, so that when the girls are doing the bubble moves they're in black and white, or even down to the alcoholic scenes when they're all in black and white, adds the feel of everything being old. I think too many effects in my music video would have overdone it, made it not quirky enough, not made it all that good. And it would take away from the video itself. It would take away from the aspects and the acting and all the things I'd worked to do. And the main part of my music video, I feel, was making the transitions. And that began with and also a lot of the split screening. So, like as you can see here, there's quite a few split screen scenes. They all went down to transforming everything so that it fit into place and cropping it so that everything wasn't too big. So, like originally, I would film these on a larger scale, so they'd be filmed with bigger backgrounds. You could see the floor in these because I needed a lot more room to be able to cut a lot wider, and then I transformed them and cropped them down into state by using the transform and crop tools. These were used a few times as well, making these split screening effects, and obviously I'd leave time gaps so that one would appear after the other, as you can see. And then if I go down the line over here, sorry, it's just finding everything. Well, yeah, you get the basic idea. They're used basically to introduce everything, fundamentally. Over here, I used not that same sort of thing. I cropped and transformed them so that they would all fit next to each other and be like this. But instead, I used a fade to color transition. So I faded it to black so that the girls would appear and they'd fade back out. And that adds just a little bit of difference to everything. All of the transitions I found were over here, or there. There you are. So there's my circle transition that I used at the beginning. And yeah, everything is just sort of in that section there. Especially in this part as well, I had to use transformation quite a bit because, as you can see, the girls move opposite sides of the screen. So I had to transform everything, and I had to guide a line across the screen. I'd like to show you, but it's not quite doing that. But yeah, I had to guide it all across the screen. Again, another split screen section where everything is separated down to cropping and transformation. It really isn't that hard once you actually get used to it, but it's just more of it's just intricacy, fitting everything into place, making sure it disappears at the right time or ends at the right time. and overall it was okay. And overall I find that Final Cut was fundamental for me to actually make my music video and give it the feel of a music video, because it is easy to pick up a camera and record, but it's actually one thing to edit everything together and make it look like an actual music video. So, and it's literally a case of drag, drop. You can drop it into the scene, everything's easy, all these little blue dots and markers for my words, and yeah, I think I'm done.